a round of applause for everybody who's come up tonight. Give a round of applause for Kay and the organizers of the show. It's good to be here. I first did Poetry Plus in 2004, where I did stand-up comedy drunkenly for a row of scowling Canadian women.
They rape you later.
And then I did comedy for many years, and I quit, and now I'm a writer, I guess. I'm going to read from my book, my second book, called The Worst Motorcycle in Laos. It is a book of travel essays published by Signal 8 Press out of Hong Kong. It's available in print or ebook on Amazon or Barnes & Nobles, or if you don't like the corporate ogre, Smashwords is a good way to order it. Unfortunately, I'm sold out here in Korea, so you can't buy it from me. This is called The Long Road to Krachi. Krachi is a town in Cambodia. Appropriately named. I shouldn't have eaten the curry. I should have just let it be. It was nasty stuff. Putrid, watery, and unnaturally green, like some sort of chunky algae bloom. The chicken was undercooked, and shards of stringy bamboo floated in the swamp of a sauce. I should have taken the whole thing out back behind the fetid shack containing the joint's kitchen and poured it onto the ground for the village's free-roaming pigs to slop up. I should have just gone to bed unfed and hungry. After all, the human body can go weeks on end without food. What was one night? I'd be fine. Despite some lean times in the past, my pampered American ass had never known real prolonged hunger. Yet 10 hours without a bite and my body was in panic mode. I was ravenous, and that was that, so I sucked down every last oily drop. It was now 2 days later, and my intestinal tract was in a state of civil war. I was nauseous and fevered, and the spigot had opened wide. Hot blasts, explosive, violent, and unpredictable, rumbled forth in unstoppable volleys from deep within my bowels. I was sweaty, weak, unshaven, and filthy. I had been wearing the same pair of olive shorts and faded green Seattle Supersonics t-shirt for over a week now, ever since my backpack containing the rest of my clothes, along with $300 cash, had disappeared from the belly of a long-distance bus. My one pair of underwear had since been abandoned in a guest house trash bin. I was in a state. For all of her tropical splendors, Laos, Southeast Asia's sleepiest country, had treated me roughly. It was time to get the hell out, so I boarded a white minibus that trundled across the border and into the realm of her tough little sister, Cambodia. The road south was a moonscape of craters and potholes punctuated by large, loose stones. The going was slow and bumpy. Constant rocking and jostling of the poor bus's chassis, not to mention its unfortunate cargo of passengers. I settled into the seat and gripped tightly, shuddering with each groan of the vehicle's frame. Every crevasse in the road sent shockwaves through my ravaged body and agitated the liquids within. I then felt the furnace ignite. Old Faithful was ready to blow, but alas, there was no toilet, no bucket, nothing on this dwarf of a bus. I'd have to ride it out. So I locked my jaw and endured each bump in grim silence, focusing my thoughts into one mantra that echoed throughout my being over the next 2 hours of rutted road hell. Keep it clenched, keep it clenched, keep it clenched. The need to release came in waves, which prompted all the muscles in my body, not just those at the gate, to flex and tighten as I staved off the overwhelming pressure. The old bus shook and shuddered as it groaned down the calamity of a road, while I just concentrated on breathing and keeping the gasket sealed. It took every reserve of willpower and discipline, but I eventually managed to gain control. I only hoped, not just for my sake, but also that of my fellow passengers, that I could maintain this upper hand. The alternative would be catastrophic. We rolled down the dusty track through desiccated rice fields. It was the middle of the dry season, and the lush Cambodia countryside was now painted in shades of brown. The air was gray and hazy from the farmers burning their fields. Buffalo stood in dusty paddies, some tied to posts, stupidly staring as we passed by. At one point, we reached a small settlement. The bus pulled off to the side, stopped, and the driver opened the door. Salvation. I grabbed my small green bag containing all my valuables, the only thing that hadn't walked away during that fateful journey in Laos, and made my way off the vehicle. We had stopped in an open-air wooden shack selling some bottled water, canned drinks, cigarettes, bags of chips and cookies, as well as other snacks. I guess this was what passed for a truck stop in Cambodia. We were suddenly set upon by 4 teenage girls carrying baskets of white boiled eggs on their heads, which they quickly brought down for our perusal. "You bite? You bite? You bite?" they pleaded in a sing-song chorus. I ducked away, weighed down by more immediate and pressing thoughts. I looked to the man sitting at the drinks table. He wore shorts and sandals and puffed away on a cigarette. He stared back with bloodshot indifference. "Toilet? Toilet?" I pleaded. He pointed to a cardboard sign tacked on a support beam near his head. It read WC, followed by a crudely drawn arrow that pointed to the left. "Thanks," I nodded and headed off. "No, no, 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 no!" The man was on his feet as I turned back. He held out his palm and slapped it with his other hand. Of course, there's no such thing as a free shit in Southeast Asia. Pay to spray. Okay, I hissed. He jerked his finger back toward the sign. I had missed the fine print scrawled tiny underneath, 1,000 riel. I took out my wallet and peered inside. I had a small wad of Lao kip and some US dollars, but no Cambodian riel. I had neglected to convert any cash at the border. His eyes bulged from his socket as he growled again for money. Lao kip? Lao kip, I asked. No. He waved the bills away. Dollars, American dollars, yes! His hand became possessed with renewed vigor. I fingered through my greenbacks looking for a dollar bill, a single dollar bill. 20, no. Shit, 20, please. Oh! $1. I handed him the wrinkled note, and he made change, returning a crumpled fistful of nearly worthless riel. I fled without a thanks and headed toward the toilet, feeling a steamy gurgling inside. It was on. Another sign directed me around the side of the building where things got very, very muddy. I slogged toward the rickety out structure on which a WC sign had been nailed, taking care not to step in the most treacherous bits. Scrawny chickens clucked, scratched, and pecked at the edge of the muck while their terrorized offspring scurried and screeched to the side of me. A fat black pig grunted just feet away. Clumps of its dark shit punctuated the even darker mud. When I finally reached the haven of the lone toilet stall, I grabbed the crude wooden handle and gave the door a yank. It moved half an inch and then stopped. It was latched from the inside. Oh, for fuck's sake, I mumbled, squeezing my ass cheeks together with the strength of an Olympic wrestler. I shuffled my weight and looked to the smoky sky. Please, 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 please. My eyes went back to the door in search of movement. Nothing. Okay, no problem, I thought. I figured that one of the other bus's passengers must be inside, so it couldn't take too long, could it? I drummed on my thighs and rocked back and forth in place and waited for him to emerge. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. No one emerged. My patience exhausted, I knocked on the door. Hello? Hello? I could hear a shuffling inside, followed by an audible but unintelligible response. Hello? Movement. Please? It's an emergency? More movement. I knocked again. This was met with a garbled yell, causing me to step away. I stood in agony for 3 more minutes. I sighed and grabbed at my hair. I growled deep in my throat. I moaned and spit. I looked to the static door and imagined laser beams shooting forth from my eyes, turning the thing into ash in a matter of seconds. Jesus cunting Christ. I approached once more and slammed with an open palm. Hey! Hey! Again, I was met with a human voice, but again, I couldn't make out what it was saying. Was it even language? It sounded like some kind of groaning. Whoever was in there was my only hope. I banged again, harder. Open the fuck up! Nothing. I waited for another minute or two. The situation was now untenable. It simply couldn't go on any longer. I looked down at my feet, at the wet earth. Surely I could just squat right there and release the boiling contents of my bowels onto this already filthy mud. It must have been done many times before. Fuck it. I thumbed the loop of my belt and began to yank it out of the buckle, only to be startled by a prolonged and loud It was the minibus. I looked over to the road. The little white bus had just begun to pull out. The driver, along with all of the passengers, was looking my way. He angrily waved for me to come back on board. I was holding them all up. No, 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 no. I slunk back onto the bus, defeated, demoralized, and ready to murder. I had yet to unleash the volcano simmering in the tubes of my ass, and it was another 2 hours rugged ride to our destination. I gingerly sat back down in my seat and cursed our animal state. Why is so much of life dictated by base physical needs? Eating, breathing, fucking, itching, hurting, pissing, and shitting. All of these things form a kind of tyranny that none of us can escape. And I was now locked away in its harshest gulag. As the bus began to pull onto the road, I threw my gaze one last time toward that rickety outhouse. The door suddenly burst open and out staggered a man. A wretched, ugly man, steeping in obscene amounts of booze or worse. He was heinously dirty and clothed in greasy, stained rags. His hair was long, matted and wild, and a wispy beard sprung haphazardly from his chin. His eyes were empty black holes, and he swayed from side to side in a half-assed attempt to stay upright. The guy probably didn't even know what country he was in, let alone village or toilet, and he had the appearance of someone in the wicked throes of a 6-day gas-huffing binge. Who knows? Maybe that's what he was doing in the outhouse. Whatever the case, I was shit out of luck. Thank you.